Welcome to this week's assembly. I wonder if anyone knows what this is, or you can guess what it is. Well, it's a bag of salt. Salt doesn't look very special, does it? We call it common salt, but it can have many uses. Hands up if you know a use for salt. One use is for food preservation, such as ham and saltfish. So we could put salt on fish, for example, and it will keep it longer than it would if it was just left alone. Do you remember we had some snow and ice recently? Well, salt can be put on ice and it will melt it. You might have seen the council putting salt on roads to make them a little bit safer for travelling. What about at meal times? It comes in a little pot, and some people put salt on their food to flavour it. Many years ago, it was an important part of the diet for sailors when sailors used to be away at sea for months at a time, and it helped to prevent an illness called scurvy, which people could get because they lacked fresh fruit and vegetables. For hundreds of years, people have valued salt. In many years ago, it was used as wages. For example, the Roman soldiers were paid in salt sometimes as their wages. Now, the word common has several meanings. Common could mean someone who is not very nice, someone who is badly behaved, or it can describe something that is plentiful, there's a lot of it. The term common people means all of us, because there's lots and lots of people in England. Now, salt is common because there's loads of it around, in the sea and in the ground as well. Now, here's a story for you. One day, Farmer Green came home from work feeling very tired, which made him extremely bad-tempered. His children, Becky and George, and even Scooby the dog, were a little bit afraid when their dad was in a bad temper. But they knew his temper would improve when he had had something to eat. And they watched as Mother put his meal down in front of him. It was meat and vegetables. When Farmer Green took his first mouthful, he pulled a horrible face. "Go on, pull me a horrible face." "Ugh," he said to his wife. "You've forgotten to put any salt in it. My dinner's spoiled." Mrs. Green only ever put a little bit of salt in the vegetables as they were cooking, but it made all the difference to the flavour. Farmer Green was very cross, and the children quickly went up into their bedrooms to get out of his way. And Scooby ran to his basket in the kitchen. Well, the next night, Farmer Green came in again with a very stern look. Can you give me a stern look? He sat down to dinner. He took a bite. "Ah!" he said. "Oh, that's far too salty." "I'm sorry," said Mrs. Green. "I didn't think I'd put too much in." Becky went red. "Sorry, Mum," she said. "Sorry, Dad. I thought I'd add a little bit of salt in case you forgot. I didn't want Dad to be cross." And then Farmer Green realised just how bad his bad temper was affecting the family. He knew that Becky was only trying to help, so he wasn't really cross with her. He said he was sorry and explained that just a little bit of salt made all the difference to the taste of the food. Well, the next evening, Farmer Green came in from work determined not to get cross. But it was okay, because there was just the right amount of salt in his dinner so that everyone was happy. Even Scooby the dog sat under the table by Mr. Green's feet, wagging his tail. Now, some people have plenty of money and live in great big houses, but it doesn't necessarily make them happy homes. These homes are like the meals that have too much salt or not enough salt. Some homes might be poor, but they can be happy homes. They're like the meal which tastes just right with just the right amount of salt in it. Now, Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth." It's a really short parable, just one word. I'll say it again because there might be a question on this later. Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth." Would you like to say that with me? You are the salt of the earth. And what he meant by that wasn't meaning that they were going to shake themselves out on people's food, but he was using it as a metaphor, a picture for something. And he was telling them how important it was for them to pass on the teaching about Jesus in what they do and what they say. Christians believe that it's important for Jesus' followers to do good things and to say right things. And so as Christians, they want to live right and say right things so that their lives and their words match together. Jesus was also saying that by their actions, small actions, anybody's small actions are very important and can be a really good benefit to people. So another way of understanding Jesus' phrase, "You are the salt of the earth," is to say that by the good things we do, there might even be little things, we are doing good to others and making a difference in other people's lives. It might be quite a small thing. For example, if you smile at someone and they smile back, you both feel happier. If you do something that's kind, perhaps lending someone a pencil or a crayon or a rubber, or helping someone pick things up if they drop them, or maybe if someone's sad, asking if they're all right. By being kind and thoughtful and helpful, just by saying please and thank you, we can have a good, positive effect on those people around us. So I'll say that once more because I think there's a quick question on it. When Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth," he meant that he wanted his disciples to tell the good news about Jesus by what they say and what they do. And any time we are doing good things in our lives, we are being salt in the world. Okay, I'm going to say a little prayer. I'd like you all to listen. Even if you don't want to pray, just be respectful by listening. But if those of you like my prayer and you want to make it yours, you can say Amen at the end. Dear God, thank you that you love ordinary people like us. We are like the common salt. Thank you that you don't need anybody to be famous, and we don't need to be rich or clever. Thank you that you love all of us, that we're all important and we're all equally important. Thank you that we can be salt of the earth to others. Help us to be reliable, dependable, and always willing to help. Help us to be kind and considerate to others. Help us to learn to live together in peace and harmony, so making this world a better place. Amen. Okay, we've got 10 questions today. Number 1, name one use for salt. And number 2, name another use for salt. So questions 1 and 2, can you name 2 uses of salt? Number 3, what does the word common mean? I gave 2 things it could mean. Can you tell me one of them? Number 4, name one of Farmer Green's children. Number 5, why was Farmer Green cross? Number 6, Jesus said to his disciples, you are the what? What? You are the what? What did he say? Jesus said, you are the... Number 7, what did Jesus mean by his disciples being salt? What did Jesus mean saying that his disciples should do by being salt? Jesus also meant that the salt of the earth, even small actions, can help others and make a difference. Give me an example. Number 9, name the dog in the story. And number 10, when Farmer Green got cross, where did the children go and where did Scooby the dog go? There, I hope you got on well with those questions. Here are the answers. Number 1 and number 2, name a use for salt. So salt can keep food. Salt can flavour food. It can go on your food, your tea or your dinner. It can melt ice. And if you want to help with some diseases, we mentioned scurvy. One of those examples for each question. So if you put 2 right, if you got 2 right, that's 2 points. The word common means either a lot or plentiful, or someone who is not very nice, or someone who is badly behaved. Number 4, name one of Farmer Green's children, Becky and George. Number 5, why was Farmer Green cross? Either there was no salt on his dinner or too much salt on his dinner. Jesus said to his disciples, number 6, you are the salt of the earth. And number 7, what did Jesus mean by this? That his followers should show others by words and deeds about Jesus. Something like that. And number 8, Jesus also meant that being salt of the earth, that even small actions can make a difference to others. Give an example. I said smile at someone, say please and thank you, help someone. I used the example of picking something up that had been dropped, asking someone if they're okay. Actually, there's hundreds of things you might want to put your own thought in there. Number 9, Scooby. Scooby is the dog's name. Number 10, when Farmer Green got cross, Becky and George went to their bedrooms. Scooby went into his basket. Right, there you go. I hope you like the story. I hope you like the assembly, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Bye.